Hi, this is Stan Bush.
Hi, this is Stephanie Calvert.
This is John Payne.
This is Jack Hughes.
Hi, I'm Carrie Stevens.
Hey everybody, this is Prescott Niles.
Hello, I'm Kofi Baker.
And you're listening to Play That Rock and Roll.
We are here with Bebe Buell. You've got a new book out, Rebel Soul.
Yes.
Music, what is it?
It's musings.
Music.
And magic.
Awesome.
There's aliens in my book. There's old stories. There's new stories. There's over 200 photos in the book. It's very photo heavy.
Okay. So what made you decide to put a book out there? Because you put one out about a number of years ago, right?
No, 2001.
Oh, okay.
I had a New York Times bestseller.
That's right.
My book was called Rebel Heart. Yes, Madonna went on to steal my title. Thank you, Madonna. You stole my lace gloves and my corset, too. But the master thief, right?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
They're always the ones that commercialize everything. What was it? Who commercialized grunge? Was it Marc Jacobs?
Oh. There's always somebody.
Yeah, so, I had a New York Times bestseller. I was getting ready to go on tour. As a matter of fact, I was in a taxi getting ready to go to the airport. I had finally, my dream had come true to do Oprah. This is 22 years ago, mind you. And 9/11 happened. The first plane hit when I was about 5 minutes from the mouth of the Midtown Tunnel. So if I had gone through the Midtown Tunnel, I would not have been able to get back into Manhattan. So I lived on Mercer Street too, so we were able to watch all of it on my roof.
Oh my God. That must have been, that's incredible.
It was horrifying.
Yeah.
But so Rebel Heart,
Yes.
for 8, I did all this promo for it, like 2020 and all that, with Chris Cuomo when he was a young kid on the block. And suddenly everything just came to a halt. My 2020 piece didn't even air for 8 months because television was consumed 100% with 9/11, as it should have been. I mean, it was a devastating event.
Yes.
So what happened is a lot of people had a lot of questions about my book, and I felt like I wrote with the wrong. No, I'm not gonna say this. I wrote with a co-writer. I love my co-writer, but I should have written it alone, and that's what I learned with Rebel Soul.
Oh, okay.
I wrote it totally alone with a wonderful editor, Mitchell Cohen, and I just felt I had to fill in some of the holes. And there's been a lot of life that's happened to me in the last 20 years. 10 years in Nashville.
Yes.
Several new records, a reissue of my first record, and through HOZAC.
Yep. And that original record, was that the one that was produced by Ric Ocasek?
Yes, Ric Ocasek and Rick Derringer.
Oh, and Rick Derringer
yes,
too.
2 songs with Rico and the Cars were my band.
Yeah.
And then Rick Derringer.
That's
and
awesome.
It was mastered by Ray Manzarek.
Oh, okay. That's terrific.
I know.
So with the new book isn't like a sequel though, isn't it? It's more of a there's like it's a collection of sorts. Like there's essays in it.
It's a semi-sequel, meaning that it covers a lot of stuff that's happened since Rebel Heart.
Right.
When I wrote Rebel Heart, my husband and I were first dating. We've been together now for 23 years, 24 years, or whatever it is, and so I've lived in Nashville, so I've done so much, so much, making so many. I made a single with the Dandy Warhols.
Oh, okay.
We did a cover of Femme Fatale.
Yeah.
And I've just been very busy, jumping up on stage. People bring me up on stage. I went
last night.
Yeah, and were you there?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
So you saw me kick ass.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because I'm all, people are always very skeptical. Can she rock? Can she move? Well, just come and I'll show you. I'll show you what Mama could do.
Okay. Fun night. No, last night was a great crowd too. Nice venue.
Yes, good crowd. And one of my favorite things is being in my audience's face. I love my audiences, and I like to see them act happy. I was glad I got some juice out of them, you know.
And they've been coming by asking you about the book. How's the reaction? The initial
I've
reaction?
already sold 15.
Oh, you got to save one for me because I'm going to come over and buy one.
Oh, you're such a sweet. I mean, I'd love to give you one, but my publisher would have. My publisher. This was an expensive book to make.
Oh, sure.
Because it's hardcover, but it's no what are those paper sleeves? It's the cover is the whole book.
So the art is printed right on.
Yeah, and there's like 200 photos inside. It's a very photo heavy book.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's all. Are all those photos from your personal collection, or is it from other people?
This is
or
very scrapbooky.
Oh, that's great.
But they're also photographers like Marcia Resnick and Bob Gruen and people like that have been photographing me my whole life.
Yeah.
You'll see some of their pictures in there too, you know. So with permission, of course,
Yes.
but yeah, a lot of the pictures in my book you have never seen them before.
Okay.
It's a trip.
Well, we only got you for a couple of minutes, so I wanted to ask about that first EP that you made with Rick Derringer and Ric Ocasek, specifically Ric Ocasek. You know, I'm a big Cars fan. It's very sad that he passed away a couple of years now. Could you tell us about what Rick was, or how Rick was as a producer for you, and what he was like working with you?
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of people. There's a lot of sexism in our industry, as you know. And a lot of people thought I must have slept with him or that he was trying to get in my pants or whatever ignorant stuff people come up with. But that was not my relationship with Rick.
Right.
You know, Rick, he was my mentor. He took me under his wing. I was there when he met Paulina. I met Paulina when she was 19. He was like a brother to me, more than a brother, almost like a best friend. I can't explain it. But he said, look, if you don't get to work on this, if you don't get in the studio now, you're never going to shake the model thing, and you're going to just be trapped in the girlfriend of forever and ever. Right. And I said, why? Because I have good taste in men? And he's like, yeah, we'll show people why you have good taste in men. Let's make our record. Yeah. So he took the initiative. He got the cars and he did the basic tracks, and Ben Orr did a scratch vocal. But here's the secret: I would not listen to it. Rick was like, "Here, listen to Ben's scratch," and I was like, "Nope. I'm the one that wanted to do Fun Time. You're the one that wanted to do Little Black Egg. Let me interpret the song as I hear it, because if I listen to Ben, who's one of the greatest singers in the world, it might influence or affect how I, So I ended up not listening to it till it came out in the Cars reissue.
Oh, okay.
And I finally listened to Ben's versions, and I was like, wow, not far from mine,
Yeah, that's good.
But Ben is such a singer, so for him to go, hey, baby, I like your lips, and to have serious attitude was kind of funny, because he was a real singer.
Yeah. He's a great singer, and unfortunately, because he's also been gone for a while, it's very sad. I talked to a guy who wrote a book about Ben, and I've come to really appreciate the Cars on a different level because of. I didn't realize as a kid that Ben sang so much of what he did.
I always called Ben Rick's girlfriend because Ben was so gorgeous. We had the same eyes. Rick used to look at both of our eyes, and Rick had the same eyes too. He had those big blue eyes. Yes. And we all looked like Village of the Damned. We looked like alien children. Remember that movie? When we would be together, the blue eyes were like...
Oh, and Ben had the blonde hair too, right?
Oh my God. And the cheekbones. We really looked alike when we were young. It was kind of funny. People thought we were related.
Oh, sure.
It was funny. But I owe Rick Derringer, because Rick Derringer was married to my best friend Liz.
Oh, okay.
So I owe Rick Derringer and I owe Ric Ocasek. They're the ones that got me started. And then it was Jason Flom, who's now a big, powerful guy in the music business and in the saving, people that have been convicted wrongly, falsely accused. But Jason Flom I mean, he signed Greta Van Fleet and Katy Perry. I mean, everybody. But Jason is the one that gave me my first development deal on Atlantic Records. And so, and then I formed the Gargoyles. I mean, I've had a long musical history, which people don't seem to understand. And, I was one of the first, I was the first woman to ever put out an independent record in an independent market and sell as many records as I did. People don't realize that in 1981, when Covers Girl came out, there was no indie market.
Oh, sure.
People weren't putting out independent records. Either you had a big record deal or you didn't. So I almost signed with Epic, my friend Dick Wingate. Hi, Dick. And, but my manager, Danny Sugarman, who also managed Ray Manzarek and The Doors, he wanted me to go with Rhino. Because Rhino wanted to do this innovative cover, and they wanted to try the indie market. So I went along with it. I tested the waters, and man, I was surprised. It was really kind of a coup in our industry that an independent record could do so well.
Especially with what you were saying earlier about, it's still a difficult industry for a woman now, but back in the late 70s, early 80s, that was a very sexist time.
Oh man, and especially me, I had done everything. And I had, gone out with some beautiful, exceptionally gorgeous, talented men. I had posed for Playboy. I had been in Vogue. I mean, I had done a little bit of every genre there is. So, people are a little confused. Oh, you sing too? What are you, Charo? Well, follow Charo on Instagram. She's brilliant, and she also plays guitar and ukulele.
Yes.
She's a genius.
Yes, absolutely.
So compare me to Charo. I don't care, baby.
She's in those Disney movies doing the voiceovers. Like, she's great.
She's amazing. She's amazing.
So one thing you can probably tell by now with the Ric Ocasek, Rick Derringer, I'm an 80s fan.
Okay, me too.
That's awesome.
Echo and the Bunnymen, they were
great band.
my favorite band.
Great band. Now, one band that I've read that you were sort of a part of at the start of was the Power Station. I love that record, and it's my understanding that you originally sang the cover of Get It On.
Here we go.
Tell me, what's the story?
Me and John Taylor, we had a flirtation.
You must have been the envy of every woman in America.
At that point, when he was opening for Blondie, when Duran Duran, are you kidding me? I think that if girls could have gotten away with murder, I would have been dinner for about 50 people. But so what happened was he also wanted to record with me. Yeah. And I said to him, well, you should hear the version of Bang a Gong that I recorded with Rick Derringer. I recorded it in 81. And he's like, yeah, let me hear it. So I played it for him, and he was totally inspired. He said, let me create a band for you. Let me get in the studio and do this, and blah, 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 blah. But he was a lot younger than me, and I could see that, I didn't want to have a full-on relationship with him because I didn't want to break his heart. I didn't want to hurt anybody, but I also didn't want to break my heart. Yeah. I knew it was not going to work. Yeah. So we were doing the transatlantic thing. So I just said, I don't think we should do this. Oh, okay. But my version never left his mind because he turned around and recorded the Power Station's version, I think with Robert Palmer. Yep. And then there was Michael Tabar. Yep. But it was my version of Bang a Gong that inspired the Power Station. And finally, it's starting to come to light. Yes. I see it online now. Oh, people are going to give me credit for something finally? Gee, thank you. But let me finish. It gets better. If you want to hear my version, the reissue of Covers Girl is out now. HOZAC. Get it on. Get it on. HOZAC Records and Books. They're also my publisher. They're out of Chicago. They are easily the coolest people I have ever worked with. They are amazing. But go to HOZAC.
And they're going to have the reissue that's going to include your original version.
It's the remastered version of Covers Girl with 2 bonus tracks. An original that I wrote called I Don't Buy It. Oh, okay. And my version of Bang a Gong that was the template for the $1 billion version of Bang a Gun. Dang it, where's my cut, baby? Wow! But anyway, so HOZAC is the coolest. Everybody needs to know about them. You can follow them on Instagram. They're on Facebook. They're everywhere. But I decided to go this. I'm an indie.
Yeah.
I broke the rules, and I broke a lot of ground with putting Covers Girl out the way I did. And I decided to do that with this book. And so far, I've sold more copies of this book than I did my New York Times bestseller.
Oh, wow, that's terrific. And you're going to get another one because I'm coming right over there to buy one.
I love you. Well,
Awesome.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks so much for coming on, Bebe. This has been a real treat.
Okay, but you need to go to my Instagram page because that's Instagram.
Yep.
Real Bebe Buell. That's right, real. I'm real.
And you're also on Twitter because I follow you at Bebe Buell Band.
Yes, Bebe Buell Band on Twitter, Bebe Buell Band on Facebook, and then bebebuell.org if you want to go to my website.
Excellent. Okay, thank you so much, Bebe. This was a treat. All right.